What does being an elite athlete have in common with living with chronic pain? Hello, my dears. It is Annette of AnnetteLeonard.com back once again with an episode of Chronic Wellness. Thank you for tuning in. It is Black History Month. It is February. It's almost Valentine's Day. We just had the Super Bowl. And my wife, who is a lifelong athlete, was talking to me recently. It actually came up after we watched that documentary, actually, no, the movie version, the fictionalized version of the life of Diana Nyad and her accomplishment having swum from Cuba to Florida. And then it came up again during the Super Bowl. Her notion that people living with chronic pain have some things in common with really elite athletes. And what they have in common is really intense pain. And one of the differences, of course, is that unless there's injury involved, elite athletes can choose to stop. And those of us living with chronic pain obviously don't get that option. We don't get to stop training. We don't get to take a day off. We don't get to say, hey, I think I'm going to skip this game. I'm going to skip this practice. I'm going to skip this workout. And I just thought that was such an interesting perspective that she hit upon. And recently, she's been plagued by some recent hip pain and some headaches. And in her being kind of dogged by those inconveniences, those ways that are limiting her capacity and her energy, and that have her just kind of feeling short in her abilities and her patience. She has, of course, had moments of, oh my gosh, Annette, I don't know how you live with as much pain as you live with on a daily basis. And there's moments where that validation feels really appreciated, right? And then there's moments where it's like, oh, I know. And so I just thought that on this Valentine's Day, I would send this missive, this love note out to all of you who are living with chronic pain. And I would just say to you, I know your fuse is shorter. I know your energy is less. I think about all the ways that your life has to be smaller, and you wonder about how you can just fold yourself into a smaller and smaller and smaller version to just take up less space, because pain is complicating and eating away at and consuming so much more of your energy and your day than you'd like it to. And I'm sorry. I wish we had better solutions. I wish that you weren't devoting so much of your life force to managing your temper, your emotions, that you weren't having to give away so much of yourself to just figuring out how you're going to get through the day, wondering whether or not you can even drag yourself out of bed, or how you're going to get to the bathroom, or manage the kids, or negotiate a meal. I'm sorry that we do not have better solutions yet for dealing with chronic pain, and that it's such an invisible demon that others therefore don't know what it is that you're up against. You know, they don't see the tidal wave at your back that's just about to consume you entirely. And they don't know that in your energy bars, all of them are gone for that day. And they aren't in this body that may be functioning at a pain level of an 8 while still trying to carry on a conversation with a loved one or a customer service agent or a child. And it is not an easy road to hoe, and row to hoe, or road to walk. And so I'm sorry. And it is not a workout that you get to stop, or a weight that you get to put down, or a treadmill that you get to jump off and experience relief. So just a reminder that you get to take up space, and that a journey of self-compassion is a worthwhile one, and that there's no use in comparing. I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in the head games of like, yeah, I'm in all this pain, but I'm not, da-da-da-da-da-da, and therefore diminish our own lived experience. And yes, it's worth appreciating that I don't have it harder than I do, but we don't have to write off what is hard about our own experience. We don't have to diminish what is the truth of our own experience. It can also be hard. And so if you're needing some tune-ups around your self-compassion game, I encourage you to look up Kristen Neff and remind yourself about what support there is around self-compassion, and maybe do a meditation or participate in some of the journaling activities or questionnaires that she has there. And in the meantime, I love you. I'm sorry you're hurting. I wish there were solutions and answers with a capital A. That's it. I just wish there were. And so I love you, and I'm thinking about you. And until we're together again, I hope you're finding ways to bring ease and gentleness and comfort, and be well.